Hey everybody, sorry I haven't posted a video up in a couple days. My laptop's been in the shop, so I'm recording this one through my iPhone. Hopefully it turns out okay. So I'm back, and I still haven't came up with a name for this show yet. I've decided maybe on the Fighter's Corner, or maybe something along those lines. If you guys have any more suggestions, please write in. Now, my next couple topics are I'm going to talk about the reason why I hate trash talking in MMA, and I'm going to discuss tonight's episode of The Ultimate Fighter. The highlight of The Ultimate Fighter tonight for me was obviously Uriah Hall. This dude is completely scary. He knocked out Adam Sella with a wicked head kick, and he knocked out Bubba McDaniel with what looked like a pretty weak punch. I mean, he hit him strong, but nowhere near the amount of damage that this dude caused is incredible. I seriously see him being the next top contender within the next couple years. The rest of the fights were pretty entertaining. I think this has been an alright season of The Ultimate Fighter. I'm not happy about next season being both men and women. To me, it's becoming too real worldish, and you're going to have to worry about other problems, such as, the housemates getting involved with one another, or, a man getting drunk and doing something to a woman. There's just too many issues. I think maybe two separate houses, maybe. Maybe have a guy's set of coaches and a girl's set of coaches, and we get to see fights from each section. Maybe that's something that can be interesting. Now moving on to trash talkers in MMA. Last video I talked about how I was disgusted with Nick Diaz, and I thought I should clarify some things. While I do think Nick Diaz has had some good fights, I've seen him where his boxing has been good and his jiu-jitsu has been good. What I dislike is his disrespect for other athletes. And I want to clarify something. I do like Chael Sonnen, because to me, Chael Sonnen is his trash talking is so different that it seems to me that it's fake. That he's just coming up with this off the top of his head to get the fans to buy into the pay-per-view, to get the fans interested into a fight that they may not already be interested in. And to me, that's fine. But what is the difference between him and Nick Diaz is that Diaz says this stuff out of vicious intent, and Nick Diaz does stuff during the fight. Him and his brother, Nate Diaz, flipped off Ben Henderson multiple times during their fight. And, throwing the hands down and sticking your face out, to me, that's dumb. To me, that's begging to lose points. You might as well just lay on your back and ask the guy to hit you. So that's where I draw the line is. It's okay to do it in promos as long as it's not too bad. But if you're doing it in a fight, disrespecting another fighter by cussing him out, yelling at him, or, getting in his face after a round, throwing a cheap shot after the round is over, whether you intended for it to hit or not, to me is disrespectful. Now, if you're doing it to entertain a fight beforehand, and afterwards you let everyone know, look, this is all I'm doing, I'm just selling a fight, and you stick to that. You're not like Diaz where you say, yeah, I'm just selling a fight, and immediately once you leave the room with the guy, you're back to your trash talking. The next big issue with UFC 158 was the Diaz camp talking about the weight cut. Now, to me, the only issue that should come up is if GSP was legitimately over, maybe he pays something to Nick Diaz. That I'm fine with. I am not fine with Nick Diaz getting an automatic rematch because GSP, if he was over by less than 1 pound. 1 pound, while it is probably a lot to lose at that later stage in the fight, isn't really that much of a game changer. Nick Diaz got taken down and pinned for 5 rounds. 1 pound didn't change that. My other question is, they were told this minutes before the weigh-in. So my question is, did they adjust the scales at all? If they did, that's a commission's fault. GSP, as far as I know, stepped on the scale and weighed 170 pounds. So maybe he wasn't overweight. Maybe the commission was just trying to put some safety precautions in case one of the fighters didn't make weight. So to me, we don't even know if GSP was even over. So automatically getting a rematch seems a little far-fetched to me. And after the whole hand-wrapping thing, it seems like the Diaz camp is just trying to find a loophole. Now, I'm done with Nick Diaz. I hope, he finds a way to get all his money issues taken care of. I really didn't enjoy his last couple fights in the UFC just because of the taunting. I enjoyed his fight with Carlos Condit, but that was mostly because of Carlos Condit. Now moving on to the next UFC 159. I'm excited for John Jones and Chael Sonnen. I actually give Chael Sonnen a shot at winning this. I think he's gotten into John Jones's head, and I don't think John is going to play as a smart a fighter as he normally is. Other fights I'm looking forward to is Daniel Cormier and Frank Mir. I'm excited to see if Frank Mir will come out and finish Cormier. Everyone is betting on Cormier for this fight, but I think it's going to be Mir. If you notice, Mir's been on the new season of The Ultimate Fighter, and the last time he was on that show, when he was coaching, he came out as a very good, very sharp striking individual against Nogueira. And the training through The Ultimate Fighter helped him become that. So I'm curious if this new season of The Ultimate Fighter and training with a good wrestler like John Jones is going to help Frank's career and maybe, put him back in title contention. I think he's having a hard time with these big guys like Overeem and Lesnar and Carwin, but I think he's a fair shot to fight fighters like Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez, who are some other ones that are coming up. Some of them. And I'm interested in seeing how he does against Cormier, because Cormier isn't really that big of a guy. Frank Mir's recent losses since his car accident have only been to big guys, other than, Junior Dos Santos. And I don't see Cormier having the same striking power as Dos Santos. And Dos Santos also got out of a couple of submission attempts by Frank that I'm not sure Cormier will. So it's an interesting fight, and I'll be entertained watching it, along with the Gilbert Melendez-Ben Henderson fight, which I hope Ben Henderson wins, because to me he's an all-around good fighter. He was really talented against Nate Diaz, and he was really talented against Frankie Edgar. I'm curious to see where he goes. Now, the last issue I want to talk about is Fallon Fox, the transgender MMA fighter who wants to fight against women. I think this is completely unfair and should not be allowed. The problem is, Fallon, is that she was someone who grew up with the bone structure and muscular structure of a man, then decided to become a woman. Well, I'm sorry, that was a choice made by you. Yes, that is, if that's how you want to live your life, so be it. But that was a choice by you, and you knew that there were no transgender leagues in MMA. You knew that there were nothing that you could compete in. Yet you chose to become a female anyways. Why wait till after you're done fighting? Why not fight against men and then go ahead and become a woman? To me, it seems like it's just a publicity stunt. And for the women's MMA that's just now starting to come out, it seems to me that's something that could almost be a death blow. And the UFC and other promotions need to do something now to stop it before women's MMA gets set back another 10 years. So that's about all I got for today. Let me guys know if you have any comments or questions. I tried to do this video a little bit better. Let me know if there are any suggestions, if you guys have any name changes. And share this video, like it, spread it out there. I want to try to get this up to a couple hundred views. And just let me know what you guys think. I'm always open to suggestions. And one thing you guys will know about me is that I'm very polite. I won't harass you guys about what you guys are saying. I'm a Christian, so I'm not going to, cuss you out or anything like that. So if you got any suggestions, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to work on it. Thank you guys, and talk to you guys later.